Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has successfully managed to kick out Uhuru and Raila Amolo Odinga's spies who are actually infiltrated in the criminal justice system. And according to credible sources, these spies were secretly briefing and working with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And one thing you must remember for sure is that these are the same kind of people who were actually used by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta or the previous Jubilee regime to weaponize, to frustrate, and also to intimidate Dr. William Samoei Ruto together with his allies. And that is why immediately Dr. William Ruto took over power as the President of the Republic of Kenya, he made some imminent changes in his new administration, especially in the security docket, which is actually a very sensitive department. And he started with the Director of Criminal Investigation, the DCI, George Kinoti. We saw George Kinoti resigning immediately Dr. William Samoei Ruto took over power. And of course, that position was advertised and all the procedures were taken, and William Samoei Ruto appointed his own Amin Mohammed to be the DCI, the official Director of Criminal Investigation. That is the first point. The second thing is that the IG, the Inspector General of Police Service, Hilary Mutyambai, also resigned. And immediately he resigned, Dr. William Samoei Ruto appointed somebody called Japhet Koome, who took over, somebody who is a close ally of Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Another change that Dr. William Samoei Ruto engineered, he made sure that the Director of Public Prosecution, the DPP, Nordin Haji, continues with his job. And remember that the DPP worked closely in the previous Jubilee regime under Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Why did Dr. William Samoei Ruto decide the DPP to proceed or to continue with this work? And he did not engineer him to resign. It is because the DPP, when he was working with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, he also worked with Dr. William Samoei Ruto closely. And he was a close ally of Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And that is why the DPP, Nordin Haji, were not in good terms with the DCI, George Kinoti, if you noticed. That is another change, or that change that Dr. William Samoei Ruto engineered. The fourth point is that Dr. William Samoei Ruto has already appointed his CS to take over that security docket. And he has appointed the CS for defense by the name, this guy from Samburu, Aden Duale, to be the CS for finance, for defense. Dr. William Samoei Ruto has also appointed the former CS for energy, Monica Juma, who will be now in charge of the National Security Advisor. And he has also appointed Professor Kithure Kindiki, who will be the CS for Interior. This is Dr. William Samoei Ruto's structure, which will now take over that security docket. Also, William Samoei Ruto has completely disbanded the Special Service Unit, or the DCI Special Service Unit, together with the Flying Squad after the recent increased cases of extrajudicial killings. You know, majority of people were being abducted and they were brutally murdered and their bodies thrown in River Yala. We all know the story behind River Yala. So that is the changes which Dr. William Samoei Ruto made immediately he took over as the President of the Republic of Kenya. But the question is, what does William Samoei Ruto want to achieve? What is his main objectives by making all these changes? So I just want us to look at briefly what Dr. William Samoei Ruto actually wants to achieve. According to my considered opinion, ladies and gentlemen, the first point is that Dr. William Samoei Ruto wants to create his own deep state. The question is, does the deep state exist? In my considered opinion, yes, the deep state actually exists. The only problem is that during Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's regime, the deep state existed, but it was somehow very weak. That is why Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta failed in his mission to make Raila Amolo Odinga as the president of the Republic of Kenya. But right now, Dr. William Samoei Ruto is now the official president of the Republic of Kenya. He wants to completely do away with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's people who are very powerful leaders, and he wants to create his own leaders or his own deep state, which will carry on the 2027 elections. That is the first point. The second point is that because William Samoei Ruto wants to create a very conducive working environment for his new appointed CS. You know, the previous CS of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will be handing over power very soon. And that is why Fred Matiang'i, Karanja Kibicho, and all others who are actually involved or in charge in the security docket will be handing over power to the newly appointed CS. So that is why Dr. William Samoei Ruto is kicking out Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta CS so that he can come up with his own CS who will actually take over and perform their daily duties in the Kenya Kwanza Alliance government to create that conducive environment for them to work in. And the third point is that Dr. William Samoei Ruto is very keen on stopping Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta briefing from the NIS, the National Intelligence Security. The truth of the matter is that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is the retired president of the Republic of Kenya, and he infiltrated the previous regime so much. There were people who were actually still working with him, even in William Samoei Ruto's government. They are still briefing Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So William Samoei Ruto wants to clear entire structure of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta so that Uhuru Kenyatta will no longer be receiving the intelligence or the NIS. And the fourth and the very last point is that Dr. William Samoei Ruto wants revenge. If you have been following very closely the recent movements of Dr. William Samoei Ruto, you can clearly tell that the DPP has officially withdrawn all the cases which were involving Dr. William Samoei Ruto's allies. People like Aisha Juma, people like Mintika Linturi, and all others. The DPP has withdrawn all their cases. And some people who are allied to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, people like Peter Munya, is it Peter Munya? Yes, of course, are the ones right now who are being followed by the DPP, who are being taken to court. What does that tell you? It tells you that Dr. William Samoei Ruto is very keen on revenging. The truth of the matter is that Dr. William Samoei Ruto was very much frustrated to get together with his allies. So I personally believe that because of that revenge, that is why Dr. William Samoei Ruto is making all these changes. What do you think about this? As Dr. William Samoei Ruto managed to kick out Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's structure? And will he achieve his objectives? Let me hear your thoughts on the comment section below. Otherwise, I don't have much to say. Thank you so much for being involved in this YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you in the next video tomorrow. In the morning, same time, same day. Thank you so much.